Okay, guys, welcome to the podcast. We have a special guest, if you want to call him that, Burger. Burger, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again, too. Yeah, it's good to be back on the podcast. Kind of wish it was under a different circumstance, but that's just how it is sometimes.
Yeah, this episode is going to be a little bit different. We kind of want to summarize what's been going on, like with the reorganization, and talk a little bit about like Burger's leaving. We'll kind of like maybe talk real quickly about like the past few events of this year. We'll talk about Burger's situation and then like future things of the podcast. So, Burger, let's start. Let's start with some of the past things that have happened. I think let's start, namely, with you leaving Taiwan in December.
Yeah, so back in early December of last year, 2023, I left Taiwan and went back to the United States to stay with my family. The reason for that is mainly because I had been in Taiwan for over 3 years. I had traveled a lot over there. I taught at a lot of schools over there as an English teacher. I met a lot of cool friends, a lot of really cool people over there. But mainly, I think it was time for me to have a change in career. And in order to have a change in career in Taiwan, in a foreign place where you don't speak the primary language over there, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Like, I had tried very hard to learn Mandarin Chinese over there while in Taiwan in order to advance my career and stay over there. There are things that got in the way. It could be work. It could be other situations.
True.
Yeah. Life just sometimes gets in the way of things that you really want to do, which is unfortunate. But now that I'm here in America, staying with my family, I can just focus on my career.
So ever since Burger has been in Texas, which is, as you guys know, that's where we're both from, we've actually been continuing the podcast. So ever since like that December, we've been working, hard to still look for guests, to maintain our posts, to keep in contact with one another, despite like that 13-hour time zone difference. So it is May now. So we've been doing this for about 4 months, just like long distance, just trying to do, trying to maintain the productions while we're in different time zones. And I think overall we've been doing that pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, all thanks to the magic of the internet.
Let's go ahead and talk about like your overall thoughts about the podcast, though. Let's go with you first, Burger.
Right. So we may have mentioned this before in earlier like anniversary episodes or update videos. This was a joint idea between me and Michael.
That is
Michael
right.
and I, back in 2020, when we first reconvened with each other back in Taiwan. Might have been earlier than that. I don't quite remember, but it was still sometime back in 2020.
Right.
I just decided with Michael, hey, what if we started a podcast and interviewed some furries over here in Asia, That has just been an exciting idea to me, and it really has been a great experience working on this project. I've met a lot of great people. I've met a lot of very interesting, creative people. I especially like the little chats that we had in our group chats before recording, after recording. You've been more talkative with the guests than I have.
Yeah.
But it's still a great way to meet people. And I know you're all about like chatting with people, networking with people. That's been one of your strengths, which is a great strength to have for a host to have for a podcast. And I think ultimately the mission statement for this podcast, I think it's a good mission statement. I think there does need to be a good highlight, spotlight, however you want to call it, on these various talented, impressive, just great people that are over here on the Eastern Hemisphere,
Yeah. In terms of episodes, we had like 44 so far. If we're going to include J-Ting, that's 44, right?
Yep.
And so that's not necessarily 44 guests, but that's 44 episodes. We probably had over 30 guests by this point.
And at least one of them has been a return guest, but it's always nice to have friends come back to your house and hang out with you. But yeah, I'll just say again, this has been a great project to work on, but at some point I've decided to step away from the podcast. The reason for that, again, I want to focus on a career. I have been studying and have been passionate about things like film, video, digital video, audio engineering, music production, things like that. That's what I went to university to study. That's what I went to community college to study. I've been able to have a few jobs like that in the United States. Before I traveled over to places like Taiwan and China to teach English. I just kind of want to do that again. And as I said before, Fox and Burger, this has been a project that I've been working on. Not so much a career. And it's been good practice for me. I've really nailed down how to edit a podcast, how to promote a podcast, how to,
for sure.
Yeah, all those good skill sets you would need in order to put together a more professional project. And I'm not saying that we haven't treated it like a professional project, but this is a volunteer kind of a thing. So, yeah, basically, I just want to showcase my skill sets and be paid for it and do something I can really be proud of. And not to say that I'm not proud of working on the podcast, but I want to do something else where I can really say I can be proud of that I worked on. But that's enough of me rambling on. What are your thoughts, Michael?
Well, I'll say first that, I still remember the very first time you submitted the first like draft. I think we still call them like the A1s, audio ones. Like that January, was it 2021? And I was like, wow, this sounds great. Like the EQ was good, the compression was good, and it really sounded like a podcast. A little bit rambly, but like, it was the very first episode. And I think that was like the why this podcast episode, everyone does that. So that's the first thing I'll say. Like, I still remember that really good work that you put in. And that was like, wow, blew my mind. As sort of like that very first rough draft.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Next, I'll say like there was definitely a lot of trial and error. We had a lot of discussions and chat meetings and all that. And so we did eventually get a formula down. We kind of figured out each other's sort of like rhythms. That probably took maybe about a year, I would say. But yeah, we definitely did a lot of like trial and error. We did a lot of feedback. Like, okay, Burger, let's maybe do like a production schedule. Where are we going to schedule the V1s and all that? When do we need to have like the guest files? When do we have, it's just like we need to have a schedule. And so there was a lot of feedback and meetings like, how do we work with each other given our schedules, given our like personality types? Communication was also very big. Just being a bit more concise but still being clear in your language, and that applies to both of us. And
Right.
so there was a lot of like honest feedback, like, hey, I don't know what you mean by this, can you clarify? And can you kind of like write in a way that is more clear, I guess. And so there's a lot of that feedback and a lot of growth. We're both very honest people, and I like that, and that really helped us grow.
Yeah. Exactly.
The next thing I'll say is that I think we didn't really get sizable results until the third year, which was this year. But I think that it was through a lot of hard work, and it was through the efforts of just keep at it. Like, we started with just like 3 subs. And I forget when we hit 100, but, we just got to keep at it. So perseverance. The other thing I'll say is like shorts is, a pretty good way to cut down content. That happened while we were doing our podcast. Like when the podcast started, I don't think shorts was a thing. Question mark. It's been a while. Like, I sound old saying that. I don't remember shorts being, well, I'll say this. I don't remember shorts being as popular when we started in early 2021, but I think it blew up like in the past couple of years.
Right.
And I think shorts is like, they're here to stay. It reminds me of Vines, but then people forget about Vines. So whatever, but that's another topic. But shorts, good way to cut down long pieces of content, which is what we are. We're a podcast. It's a little bit on the longer side.
Yeah.
And then
exactly.
the final thing I'll say about the podcast is, thank you so much for all the viewers and guests who like put up with us. We're asking them for like pictures and links, and we asked for about an hour of their time to sit down and talk to these 2 guys from Texas, about Asian furry fandom. And it's crazy. This podcast is 3 years old. It's a small child. It's a baby, and it has grown so much. I almost want to tear up because like it is. We have worked so hard.
Aw.
We both have full-time jobs right now. I was a student when it first started, and Berger was a full-time English teacher in Taiwan when we started. But we both had very busy lives, and we always like. I always felt that we squeezed out as much time as we could, and so all the thumbnails that you see, all the the edits and the compressions and the EQs and like the feedback and the posts we make, like we took time out of our lives to produce something like this. I think that is amazing, that is beautiful, and that deserves a thanks for you guys. It really motivated us to keep on going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it wasn't for the audience that we've gained, we would just be talking to a wall, just a big brick wall,
And about you stepping away from Fox and Burger, I'll say this, like I think that there's always been a lot of discussions and meetings, as I've said, about like feedback and conversation skills and interview skills, and I hope that you improve those skills no matter what. Like I think that this is a start. Don't think of it as an end, think of it as a beginning. And I'll kind of echo that. I'll kind of repeat that message towards the end of this episode, I think. But think about it as a beginning to like keep pursuing, to keep improving yourself. It's also just really hard to see you go after 3 years. It's just like, we've been working pretty hard together, and like I said, all the triumphs and travails and everything, it just the camaraderie, and like I felt like we were doing pretty well by our 3rd year, well, which I mean to say this year. But yeah, I mean, it's really hard to see you go, but I know this is the right decision to make, and I know that there are just greener pastures for you. And so like I say, go ahead full throttle with whatever plans, with whatever designs that you have. I think you're going to succeed. As I said, think of it as a beginning, don't think of it as an end. I sincerely wish you the best of luck in all your endeavors, Burger.
Thank you so much for that. That really means a lot coming from you.
Tell us about your current situation and your future plans.
Yeah, so my current situation right now, I'm not working at a company or a service that does like video production, audio production right now. That is something that I'm pursuing right now. That would be my end goal. But right now, temporarily, I'm working as a humble fuel station attendant. Just some part-time work where I can earn some money because, I like having money. Everyone does.
Amen.
Yeah. And because, you got gas to pay, you got events to go to, you got things you want to buy that'll help you with your career eventually along the line. So having a job, even part-time, is nice to have. The word my mom likes to use in order to describe it is industrious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good to be industrious every once in a while. So that's just what I'm doing right now. But, I'm filling out applications, I'm talking to people, I'm trying to network with different people, especially on LinkedIn.
That's great. Yeah.
And that's, it's been since like, I'd say 5 months since I've started looking for that kind of work, and it can be tough. But just like you said before, perseverance is the key. Perseverance is something you got to have if you're really passionate about something.
Well, again, like I wish you the best of luck. I mean, perseverance, as you said, is the key. I think that, keep doing your networking, keep sending out those applications, and, when you make it big, don't forget about us little folks.
I'm not going to forget. Don't worry. And, spoilers, I'm going to try and return to Taiwan later in October. Just to visit Taiwan again, go to Infernity, see some spots that I want to see again, visit some people, some friends, especially you, back over in Taiwan. But yeah, that's something I also have in the future. But obviously, I need something, like a part-time job to save up for that. So this will not be the last time that we'll talk to each other.
So if we're not making it clear, basically, Burger will be leaving on May the 21st. And so this is our sort of wrap-up episode, and we have a big announcement. First off, after some discussions and deliberations, we are, I want to say as since Burger will be leaving, but I will be continuing the mission of the productions in a new YouTube channel. So we are going to basically clean up our old one. We're probably going to end up deleting it eventually, but we'll probably leave the Fox and Burger Productions channel, online for, let's just say, a few months and direct people to the new channel. We don't really want to reveal the name yet, and we don't want to say a little bit too much, but we are basically going to retire the Fox and Burgers Productions YouTube channel and any other related social media. We will be starting completely new. And I really should be saying I'm just so used to saying we. But I will be kind of making my own production and kind of expanding upon the mission of Fox and Burger while still kind of keeping the core. Looking at doing new contents like more vlogs, maybe more live interviews, and probably more posts. And so who knows, maybe some games, we'll see. Just kind of like another approach, and as I said, like expanding upon the mission. So that is the biggest announcement that I wanted to say. Secondly, again, thank you guys so much for being here. For everyone who just, there's probably only like 20 or to 10 to 20% of the people who actually listen to the whole dang thing, the whole episodes. So thank you guys for sticking. You guys are a statistic, I think, on the YouTube statistics tab, but for all the people who have actually listened, from 000 to like 51, whatever, you guys are the real heroes. So thank you so much. As I said, that this is a beginning and not an end. The podcast, it might be renamed, the productions might be renamed, but basically the mission is the same. It's still going to be, exploring Asia, exploring Asian furries, and interviewing them on the podcast. It's a continuation, I think, is another way to put it. Oh yeah, and then of course Burger said he'll be coming back for Infirmary, or at least that's the plan. So, echoing Burger's statements, this, this is not the last time that we'll talk to each other, obviously, and me and Burger talk occasionally on Telegram and sometimes on Discord. So, we'll still be friends, obviously. We're not, we aren't going anywhere. We're just doing different things in our lives. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, I think like that kind of wraps up the episode. For once, Burger, social media shout out for you.
Yeah. I've done this before on previous episodes, anniversary episodes and such. So I'll go ahead and start with my Twitter. That is at Lightning Runner. So L, the number 1, GHTNINGRUNNER.
Can I just say something? I swear, if you change that tomorrow, and I'm gonna laugh so hard if you change that like tomorrow or the next week.
Oh, you want me to?
You know what I mean?
You want me to be a bit sneaky then, huh?
I'm just saying, whenever this goes, you know what I mean. I'm just begging, but nah, I'm just pulling your leg.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. Anyway, so you can also send me a message on Telegram. That is at Lightning Runner, spelled the proper way. LIGHTNINGRUNNER. And then I'm also known by my other persona, Tongue Hai. I'll go with Blue Sky first. Blue Sky is at TENGHAI.BSKY.social, SOCIAL. That it again is on Blue Sky. And I'm also on Facebook at Tongue Hai. So if you look for TENGHAI on Facebook, you will see my little pink dragon there. The characters there, the Hanzi, you may have to help me with this, is, I believe on the left, it's the one for moon, and at the bottom is the horse radical. And then the next character, Hai, is just the word for the sea or the ocean, if I got that correct.
Yeah, that's correct. And then it's the 3 dots water on the left.
Yeah.
For that one. The tongue, I'm not sure, but the Hai for sure is that.
Yep, because the water's wet. And that's where you can find me on social media.
I'll go ahead and chime in. This, obviously this won't be the last time I do this, but I really only have like 2 accounts to share. So Twitter is, X, formerly Twitter, is Foxnack. That's FOXNAKH. Blue Sky is the same thing. It's FOXNAKH with the Blue Sky thing. My Telegram is also the same. It is FOXNAKH, so it's all unified. It is easy. My DMs are relatively open. I'll chat if I'm free. I'll say that much. Been a little bit busy lately. But yeah, no, thank you guys so much. It's been a long journey. You know, we're all 3 years older. And I think that, as I keep saying, that this is really, it's a beginning. It's not an end. And so, you know, I'm excited to see where Burger's going to go in the next like few years. I'm excited to see where my new, you know, channel is going to go in the next few years. And again, we hope that you stay with us. We hope that you understand that we're reorganizing and kind of cleaning up and doing something new. It's you know, like I don't have any words else that could describe it. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for subscribing and liking our videos, sharing our videos. From the end of one chapter to the beginning of the next one. We will see you on the next episode. This has been the Fox and Burger podcast with me, Burger.
And I'm Michael the Matcha Box.